Hello everyone, Pwnsalot here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to farm Carabosse gems in this video. Now, you need Carabosse's gem for a lot of different stuff in the game, but the one that I'm working on is Carabosse, which is a greatsword that my Paladin and Dark Knight get to use. And so you gotta go to a lot of places. Right now in my progression on Carabosse, I'm actually in Pwnsalot doing the Carabosse gems, which I'll show you the quickest way to pop Carabosse here. Most of the people would come out here on either Thief or Warrior, and most Abbacy rule of thumb is basically you bring your Warrior if you have a lot of mini bosses that you have to get through because of the chances of you actually proccing them. With Warrior having so many different weapons at its disposal, you can just go ahead and proc it. But if you're actually doing a boss that has only a few mini bosses, it might be faster for you, like we're talking in terms of time spent in Abbacy, to just bring the Thief and not ever proc anything. So that's what I've been doing with Carabosse, and it works pretty well. This little mule only ever bothers you, I think, at nighttime. He won't leave me alone, but whatever. I mean, it's a little mule. I actually come out here Thief sub Red Mage, but obviously level 119 content is way higher than I need to have for this zone, so you could bring anything here, but I would recommend Treasure Hunter for sure. The items that you need to pop Carabosse, there's two of them. They're key items, and in order to get the key items, you actually have to farm. You get a lot of junk in this zone too, by the way, but it sells pretty good on Auction House. Just a side note. Most of the stuff will sell pretty good on Auction House. But anyways, the items that you get from these guys here, you trade to an NPC to spawn a mini-boss. And when you get the key item from vanquishing that mini-boss, you have to kill another mini-boss with the fairies, and then you get the mega-boss. I think I have one of the key items already. I don't know, I've been grinding for a while, so I've got it figured out here. Let's see. It wouldn't be under Atmos. I can never remember the name, but okay, this item right here. So the Shimmering Pixie Pinion is the key item from the fairies, and there's one from the Damselfly boss. I don't know if I have that one. It's like transparent something, and then it pops an NM and you killed an NM. Let's just go ahead and kill some of these and try to get the transparent item. I don't believe I have it in my inventory. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So I take this item. That was pretty easy to get. And then I go over to the boss, mini boss. And he is going to be around this lake. Okay, he's being fought right now by these other guys. That's fine, whatever. I'm just showing you guys how to actually do this. So what you basically get is a key item from the Lethane Lage. It looks like they really want to proc him, but I'll show you when I have the option to actually spawn him here in a moment. I'll show you that he's actually kind of a joke. Like, you don't need to proc him. It will take a moment for me to be able to spawn him again, but I think in the meantime I'll get a pop item for the Pixie boss as well, even though I have the key item already, just to show you guys what you have to do to get the Pixie boss pop item. This is relatively easy stuff. Anyway, that's where the Lethane Lage spawns. Basically northeast corner of that big lake there. Right in the corner where those four squares are kind of connected. And the Carabosse spawns here. You can see somebody killed them recently, so Carabosse in the hall here. So that's the mega boss, and we'll pop it as soon as the Lethane Lage gives me the key item drop. Okay, so the boss spawns here. The mini boss for the fairies spawns right here. It's Baba Yaga right here. So the spawn area, you just click on this and Baba Yaga. And the regular Farfades, I think I'm saying that right, are the ones that drop the item to spawn Baba Yaga. So you'll spawn her at that little lake there, that pond, and You'll get a key item off of her occasionally. I think it's about roughly 25% chance of dropping a key item off of her. Because I'll kill her probably 3 or 4 times in a row. Like, I'll keep getting the item to pop it, and I'll kill it maybe 3 or 4 times in a row without any procs, and I'll get the key item that way pretty consistently. And for the Lethane Lage, I think it's roughly about the same. Every 3 or 4 times I'll probably get the key item without proccing it. I've never once procced them, and I've actually gotten the key items enough times to spawn multiple Carabosses. You can see I've got her loot right here from just farming them. And I have not switched to any other job besides Thief for this. So again, there are some content that would require, like Glavoid is a good example of content that I was really comfortable grinding it as a warrior and a thief, but Carabosse is probably a boss that I would only bring Thief to, just because it doesn't seem like it really makes a big difference. I really don't want to walk back to the zone on warrior just to get a proc, possibly get a proc. I mean, it's really difficult to like actually proc these things when you're very strong, and my character's very strong. I would have to get really weak items specifically for like procking stuff, and I do have some stuff on my warrior to do just that. I can show a couple examples if anyone really would prefer the warrior trick to stagger the NM without actually killing it. Let me just show you guys some examples of some stuff I would bring on warrior to get the job done. Like, for Greatsword, I usually just rock Zulfikar. It's really strong, but it's very rare that the Greatsword is actually the proc. Now let me see where I actually stash all my low-level weapons for this stuff. Okay, so for clubs, if you need an item level all jobs club to get your club weapon skill proc, you would probably use something like this, or a warp cudgel if you still carry those, but 119. I like to carry the high-end stuff that's not so strong and the high-end stuff that is really strong, but no low-level stuff. Like, no, I don't think so. I don't have time. But yeah, this all jobs is really good for this because you can proc with warrior that way. What else would I use? You could do the dagger here for like the dagger procs. You need to do like Cyclone, I believe, on dagger and energy drain. I use this scythe a lot, by the way, because who doesn't want to carry around a hoe? And it's really good for Nightmare, Shadow of Death I think it is, or Nightmare Scythe, which one it is for the scythe proc. You could use this on warrior, really good. Very good halberd here. If you're starting out on any of those jobs and you want to use a polearm, there you go, use this, it's item level, and whatever, it's just what I happen to have, but you can see warrior definitely gets to use it, so there you go. You could use this on warrior. And what else would I use on warrior? I'm not sure, guys. I think we covered most of the items already. I think I'm missing one, but whatever. I mean, like, just find something. It doesn't even matter. You can find it on Auction House. You could just grind some, like, high-level Battlefield content, like Ramu, Garuda, things of these nature. And then you can actually, that way you can get a lot of that trash, I would call it trash items, that's really just good for Abacy farming. Like that halberd, for example. I would never use a polearm like that on any of those jobs, except for like in Abacy. So you can do that, you have the option to do that. The Farfadets are not dropping the pop item for the mini boss, but that's fine. I actually need to make sure that I get the key item from Lethane Lage, and we were just over there. I'm gonna go back over there and see if maybe I can spawn him. Probably have Flea again. Alright, let me see if I can actually spawn him. A little trick I use for spawning NMs here too. See how easy that was? Very simple trick. I'll show you guys the trick really quick. Basically, whatever your item is, you write a macro like this, and you can see I can spawn multiple bosses, because I'll only really ever have one of these at a time, so like when it checks, it's not even going to be there, it'll go to the next line. So you could use one macro and like pop both of these mini bosses that way. Very, very clever. Saves you quite a bit of time with button mashing. Alright. So, he's pretty easy. You could just beat him down. I mean, I hit this guy for 50k earlier. Basically, that's all the HP they have. So if you could just smack them for 50k, they definitely feel that. I feel like that trick attack didn't actually go off because August tends to move to the right when he actually aggroes the boss that you're fighting. He tends to basically provoke in one spot and then sidestep to the right and use his flash. I think that's interesting. Alright, so there's the other key item that I needed, Pellucid Fly Eye. So you got Shimmering Pixie Pinion from the fairies and Pellucid Fly Eye from the Damselflies. And once you have both of those, you come up to any of these question marks by the top of the bigger lake. You can see on the mini-map I've got a bigger lake and I'm right on the north side of it. And spawn Carabosse. Carabosse is a pretty interesting boss. You can actually one-shot her if you can do more than 50,000 damage in one swing. But you also have to consider if you miss the one-shot, she's just going to use her special ability anyway, and it's not even going to matter. So either way, you could just grind her down. You don't even have to weapon skill her. But I like to make it a challenge to see if I can actually one-shot her before she uses Benediction. I might actually get it off here. I gotta make sure August stands still. Yeah, this will probably do it. Yeah, you're dead. Okay, so there you go. That is a successful anti-Benediction one-shot KO. Still got the Treasure Hunter because I am using Treasure Hunter equips when I'm engaged. So I have the TH8. I think that might have been a TH8 or a TH9. But basically, 99% of the time, you'll come out here and you'll fight Carabosse, and she'll use Benediction. But if you can kind of one-shot her when she's like 60% or 50% HP remaining, if you have that kind of damage on your thief, then she'll not have a chance to use Benediction. But if she does use Benediction, she also gets a damage like a phalanx. It's kind of like a phalanx. Your weapon skills will hit anywhere from like 10,000 all the way down to like 1,000. I've seen some of my Rudra Storms hit for 1,000, and that is definitely a damage reduction that the boss has, and it only happens when she uses the Benediction. So that's why I try to encourage the technique of actually one-shotting her before she can use Benediction. Sometimes you can just take her from 100 to 0, even over a period of time, and she won't do Benediction, but most of the time she will do Benediction. And whenever she does the Benediction, she gets the phalanx. But yeah, 2 Carabosse gems off that boss, and getting the pop items for that boss didn't take too long. I mean, you're talking maybe 10 minutes of your time on Thief per 1.5 Carabosse gems, I would argue. Because sometimes you'll get 1, but most of the time you'll get 2 on Thief. Well, assuming you bring your TH8. You gotta bring your A game if you're gonna grind this, obviously. You can't just bring a scrub job. I mean, you could, but you'll be here way longer. Rough estimate on time spent in this zone to get 50 Carabosse gems with this technique, probably 8 hours. I would have to say 8 hours, and you'll have yourself 50 Carabosse gems. That's probably the amount of time I'll spend doing it. I would imagine you could do it in a lot shorter time if you're like super good at the game. But it's just kind of a lax game mechanic to get the 50 Carabosse gems. Definitely busy work, and something that I only really do when I'm bored. When I have like nothing going on, I'll come out here and get the Carabosse gems, and sometimes rage when these guys keep running from me, and then be grateful that I have some form of engage like Dia or Provoke. Might be a good call to bring Dia or Provoke out here too, just a heads up. If you're gonna bring the Thief. And maybe not suck so much when it comes to getting the loot to drop, right? Let me double check to see if I have the loot already or not. Sometimes I'll get confused out here and not know what step of the grind I'm on, because I basically go around in a circle with this until I have the 50 Carabosse gems. It'll probably take me about 4 or 5 sittings to get 50 Carabosse gems. I'm hoping I can get like, you know, 10 in one sitting and then move on. But that's about all I can stomach in most cases. It's about 5 or 6 Carabosse kills, and then I'm like, ugh. By then you're actually running short on time. I mean, I had 2 hours coming in, and you can see I've been out here for already 100 minutes. Is that right? No, 80 minutes. But yeah, so I've got another 40 minutes in the zone. And that's not too bad. I'll probably hang out here and kill Carabosse for another 40 minutes too. Keep an eye on the time remaining. That way I don't get locked out in case I really feel froggy and I want to come right back. But if I do get locked out, big deal. I mean, go do something else. Chances are, if you're doing stuff like this for ultimate weapons, you're probably doing mythics too. So if you ever do get locked out of Abyssy, you could make very good use of your time by doing an Einerger run. And maybe even a salvage or an Izul Isle run. Most of that stuff you can do by yourself or with a friend. I think for Izul you're gonna need like 3, but maybe you can do. I think you can actually go in by yourself now. I'm not gonna swear to that, but I think you can. I know everything else you can go in by yourself. Just to make use of that downtime while the Abyssy cooldown timer happens. If you ever do get kicked out of this zone, I would recommend doing something like that. Okay, that plateau glider is actually not there. Interesting side note, I actually have all characters' visibility turned on in this. That's a feature I figured out how to do. I'm not going to share it because I'm an asshole, but basically I get to see anything, whether it's dead or alive. It doesn't despawn on my screen. The animation guy, the graphics will always be there for me. And that helps me actually figure out where, like, Carabosse spawns, for example. So that's a pretty cool feature for me out here. It's too much effort to actually explain how to set that up, though, in this video. So I will go without setting that up in this video. Let's see. Okay, that's a problem. That's another thing you'll run into out here. Your inventory will fill up with mostly junk that will sell for maybe 100k. So it's not worth dropping all of it, but I would drop at least the Lambent scales. Would not be a bad call, because they don't stack. I wish they did stack, but they don't stack. And they do take up quite a bit of inventory space. I'll throw away crests too, because I get a lot of those out here. And I already have hundreds, so do not need those. And I'm pretty sure I won't need voyage cards. If I do ever need them, I can just come back out here and kill Carabosse again. However, Pickiest skill is actually for Baba Yaga, so we have that pop. And I don't have the transparent wing yet. But we can go do Baba Yaga now, so let's go do Baba Yaga. She's going to be on the pond, northwest corner of the bigger lake here. There's a small pond, and she's over there. She's being fought again by those guys. Ugh. Azura. God damn it. People are always grinding out here, man. Always. Okay, so I can't pop that boss yet. And unfortunately, only the Mega Boss has the extra spawn point to pop. Another character can pop the Mega Boss. But not the mini bosses. The mini bosses have no other spawn points, so it's actually harder. It's actually harder to fucking pop the mini bosses than it is to pop the mega bosses on Azura. Something that they didn't really think through. I think they could have easily added another pop area for those mini bosses, and they just didn't. Treasure Hunter is very useful out here, I will say. Very happy with Treasure Hunter out here. It could be a lot worse. I did Glaboid, so this is heaven to me compared to Glaboid. So, Glaboid makes me feel dirty. Now, this is quite easy though, quite easy stuff. All right. I was about to die at this one. He was running off. I was gonna die at him. Get him to stop moving from me. Alright, Fly, come to Pwnsalot. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I already have it, so it won't drop again. I always think that, and it's never the case. It's just bad luck on the treasure hunter rate. Ugh. How gross. I should already have the pop item by now. Do have my TH8 on. That's not the pop item. Come to Pwnsalot, Plateau Glider. Give me pop item. Do it now. There we go. See, I just had to make demands. The game listens when you make demands. Alright. And pop this guy with my handy dandy macro. In case anyone's wondering what it was, one more time I'll show it on the screen while I'm fighting this guy. Macro to trade the item to the question marks to spawn the boss. And Rougers for 3k should be lethal, even without stacks. Just fire that weapon skill off. Ah, that's gross. Did not get key item there. So like I said, I have to spawn Lethane Lage a few times. I have to spawn the Pixie a few times in between. This video should serve as like a rough estimate of how long it will take you to do this exact same thing on your thief. I would imagine, because like I'm gonna try to spawn another Carabosse. I will spawn another Carabosse by the time that I end this video clip, and we'll see like how long it actually took me to spawn and get 2 more Carabosse gems, or 1.5 more Carabosse gems. Because I might possibly get 1 Carabosse gem. That will suck, but still killed it, so still good. Okay, where is the spawn area? Having trouble locating it. There it is. Okay, it's not officially spawned yet. It's still invisible. What does this plateau glider want? Get off me. I killed your brother, get over it. There we are. Going for the one-shot KO, let's go. I tagged TH, so that's not gonna matter though. I need just the key item, so TH doesn't really help with that. I'll just have to get lucky. Have to get lucky. Nope. Over 2. Flea is still on cooldown. I do think it's pretty fun to just come up to these guys and one-shot them. Like, 1 attack round is sometimes enough to kill, like, the fairies anyway. I think the flies take multiple attack rounds, but it's just a lot of damage. Their HP bars are so small on Embassy. Like, compared to new content. Holy cow. I squash you like bugs. Squash them all like bugs. Oh, I was gonna weapon skill him. Ended up not having to, because that's a lot of quad attack procs. I might have actually put a lot of work into my thief, guys. I might just have a lot of quad attack procs. That's just something that might happen occasionally. Occasionally go ham on everything. Alright. Okay, Lathian Lage, you have one job. Give to me your proc. I need the key item. Lucid bug face. There it is. So now I have to take my fairy pop item and spawn Baba Yaga. And then I will have another Carabosse pop. So I'm already halfway there. So I'd have to say, yeah, about 5 to 10 minutes between pops on Thief. That sounds about right. Now these guys have not gotten in my way all night, and then suddenly it's like everybody's in my way. Ah, there we go. Wonderful. That was rude. Trick attack. Well, bam. Correct. That's another thing you guys can do if you're really dedicated to grinding out here in large clumps of time. What you can really do is remerit your thief. I haven't done this yet, but I was thinking about it a lot. Probably remerit your thief just for Abyssy. I would actually swap the sneak attack and trick attack recasts for soloing on Thief and Abyssy. I would probably 5-5 trick attack and 0-5 sneak attack, and then change it back later. But that's mostly because if you're using the same setup that I'm using, you could just trick attack August whenever you want, and you get TP way faster than 60 seconds. You can see Baba Yaga decided she was not going to drop the key item. So, I have to kill more pixies. They will get over it. Don't run for me. It's too late. Target acquired. Come to Pwnsalot. Where are you going? Party's over here. Yeah, August is my hero. You guys don't have to use the same trusts, but there are a lot of good trusts that you can use for something in along the lines of this technique. And I would say basically any tank that has provoke would be a really good starting choice. And there's a lot to choose from. So I just like August. I think he's really cool. He's very difficult to get in comparison to all the other ones as well, so it's kind of like an EP thing for me. It's like gotta bust out the August and show the tryhard mode occasionally, I guess. These pixies are being very greedy today. Come over here, pixie. I'm not chasing you. My legs are only so long. Oh, that's a dead pixie. Okay. Ah, goddamn it. Had to get all up in my business, didn't you, buddy? Oh, yeah. I don't want to play this game. My pixie. Who do you think you are? That's mine. Alright, is it gonna drop? Do we get a drop? Do not get a drop. Gross. Chances are they actually are gonna go spawn the boss right now because they're not farming these pixies. Well, okay then. think all the pixies over there are dead. Except for that one. That one's mine. I saw it first. Is it even there? It is there. I thought it was like just a ghost. Oh, how convenient. No drop. Rip. Alright, pixies. The greedier you are, the more bloodshed there will be. Period. I need special ability. Oh, no I don't. It's right there. Come to me. Yup. More pixies must die this day. You didn't even get your name claimed and then you're already dead. Oh, and you dropped. It's too bad you dropped late. Damn it. Oh. They're gonna be here for a while, aren't they? Oh my god, they're actually proccing it. See, this is why we need multiple spawn locations for Baba Yaga. I don't want to wait for them to proc it. That's ridiculous. You're asking too much of me. Get with the program. It's 2017. You could be done by now. Oh my god. Well, here's a prime example of why I'm making this video, guys. Right here. They're doing it the hard way. But this is an option. You can do this. If you really want to. If that's your thing and you'd like to torture yourself and throw cats in the microwave, then yeah, you can do that. I think overloading is trying to get over here and like grab the pop first, but I bet you anything he doesn't see invisible objects. So I bet you anything I can get this macro to go off before he ever does. Bet I can beat him to claiming Baba Yaga. But, you know, maybe not. Maybe he also wrote a macro to trade. See, I'm using the same macro for each, so that transparent error that you see in the log is not relevant. That's for the other one. So when I'm at the other one and I'm spamming like this, it'll say that the pixie item instead is the one that's throwing the error because it doesn't exist. Obviously, it's not what I'm trying to spawn. It's just handy to have the one macro. Yeah, dude. Totally claim that faster than he did. But you want to know what? I'll also unclaim it faster than he did. Stop moving, August. We gotta murder this thing really quick. Done. Let's move on, guys. Well, that took forever. GG. Oh man, that was so hard. Do you see my point though? Now I can just come over to Carabosse, clickety click click, and there it is. There it is, another Carabosse. So if you're ever curious, what's the fastest way to spam Carabosses? I'd probably say my way, solo, or multiple me's. Like if I had a friend that wanted to help me with like getting the pops together, then sure. But it's not necessary. This is easy stuff. Definitely not as hard as Glavoid. Alright, let me see if I can one-shot this princess. I did! 2 for 2, not getting a benediction and a phalanx proc on her. 2 more gems. Ladies and gentlemen, we've found our calling. Thief spam on Carabosse all day, let's go. Alright, well that's about it for this video. You've seen the whole process from beginning to end with this technique, and conveniently enough, in third person you saw the other technique kind of over the shoulder. Those guys out there are doing the warrior procs like I was explaining. But you would need to, if you wanted to do that solo, you would need to change jobs to warrior, do your procs, get your key items, and then once you have both key items, you're going to want to go back to town, change your job to thief, come out and kill Carabosse to get the treasure hunter. If you care about the treasure hunter that much. I don't think it really matters. You saw it only took 10 minutes to pop a Carabosse. If she only dropped 1 gem, that's fine. She's probably never going to drop 0 gems. I've never heard of a boss in Abyssy dropping 0 of their jobs. So you're probably always guaranteed 1. There you go. I'm done. Just recording this video on how thief farming is much faster and convenient than warrior farming for this boss. You've been crucial to the success of this video. Thanks for participating. Done. Okay, Rep Kappa. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. I will see y'all in my next one. And I look forward to having some groovy shit to do in that one. Until then, peace.